Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 6 and 7. I have a sore throat, so I won't be speaking so much. Mostly it'll be recitation and I'll have all of you read. Okay, so does anyone need to go first? If not, we'll just go in order. Okay, Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to the humble devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Go ahead, Prabhu. Oh, Yetu Sarvani Karmani.
Mataji, I can see only a Google screen.
Really? I'm sharing the screen. stop and share again. Can you see now?
Yes, Mata.
Is
Yeah.
it Prabhupada? Ye tu sarvani karmani
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि
mayi sanyasya matparaha
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः
ananyenaiva yogena
अनन्यायेनैव योगेन
ananyenaiva yogena
अनन्यनैव योगेन
mam dhyayanta upasate
मां ध्यायन्त उपासते
tesham aham samudharta
तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता
mrityu samsara sagarat
मृत्यु संसारसागरात्
bhavami na chirat partha
भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ
mayi aveshita chetasam.
मयि आवेशिता चेतसाम्. Translation: Those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Isha.
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशत चेतसाम्. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities to me, and being devoted to me, without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pratha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Krishna Shish.
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मयि आवेशितचेतसाम्. For those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Radha Madhava.
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता संसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्. For those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pratha, so that I am the swift deliverer from those of burden.
Rasapriya.
ये सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, have fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Next is Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Go ahead.
Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sannyasa matparaha anyanyeva yogena mama dhyayanta upasate teshaham samudharta mrityu sansara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engage in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So I'll also recite Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 6 and 7. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya chetasam ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamina chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and are devoted to and being devoted to me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, so let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9. I'm saying Canto 15. 12 is the last canto. Canto 9, Chapter 15. We are reading about Parashuram, Lord Parashuram. The Parashuram, the Lord's warrior incarnation. So what did we read so far? So we were reading about the descendants coming from Ururava Maharaj. We came up to Gadhi, King Gadhi, and we saw how King Gadhi's daughter was married to Richika Muni, and also we saw how they exchanged the oblations that were prepared by Richika Muni, who Satyavati and her mother, and as a result of this, so when Richika Muni came home and when he found out that they have done that, he was very angry. But his wife Satyavati was, she pacified him. Pacified him means she begged him, right? So what was the problem? The oblation which was prepared for Satyavati was meant for a Brahmana son, and the one prepared for her mother was meant for a Kshatriya son. And because they exchanged, now Satyavati would get a son who would be fierce, a fierce Kshatriya, and her mother, King Gadhi's wife, would have a son who's a Brahmana. And this was a problem. So that was the lengthy purport that Srila Prabhupada gave us on that. So what are the qualities of a Brahmana? What are the qualities of a Kshatriya? And also, they're different. The Brahmana's function is different, Kshatriya's function is different. And another important point that Srila Prabhupada brought out is Brahmana Kshatriya is by their quality, not by birth. Because now, if it were by birth, simply by taking birth from Richika Muni and Satyavati, the son should have been a Brahmana. But no, even though he would take birth from Richika Muni, he will be a Kshatriya. So then she pleaded, she was feeling very sorry, and she said, please, can you change this, right? Let my son not be a fierce Kshatriya. So then Richika Muni said, okay, then your son, not your son, but your grandson will be a Kshatriya. It cannot be cancelled altogether, nullified altogether, but it can be postponed. So instead of your son, your grandson will be a Kshatriya. So that's how we saw Rishika Muni and Satyavati had a son called Jamadagni. And then we saw how this Jamadagni married Renuka. Renuka is the daughter of Renu. And the two of them had many sons, several sons. The youngest of them was called Rama or Parashuram. And also, and then we read about Parashuram, how Parashuram killed, I think we also read this, Kartavirya Arjun. Yes? Kartavirya Arjun saw, maybe that was just, I think we didn't read that yet. Maybe that was just in the summary when we read. Let me see. So, text 12 and 13. Satyavati later became the sacred river. Oh, okay. Okay, 11. Satyavati, however, pacified Rishika Muni with peaceful words and requested that her son not be like a fierce Kshatriya. Rishika Muni replied, then your grandson will be of a Kshatriya spirit. Thus Jamadagni was born as the son of Satyavati. Then also Satyavati later became the sacred river Kaushiki to purify the entire world. And her son Jamadagni married Renuka, the daughter of Renu. By the semen of Jamadagni, many sons, headed by Vasuman, were born from the womb of Renuka. The youngest of them was named Rama or Parashuram. So then we also read about Parashuram. Learned scholars accept this Parashuram as the celebrated incarnation of Vasudeva, who annihilated the dynasty of Kartavirya. Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas on earth 21 times. So that's what we were reading yesterday. We completed the purport, but Parashuram is the son of Jamadagni and Renuka, the youngest son. And what are the activities of Parashuram? He killed all the Kshatriyas of the earth 21 times. Why did he kill? So that's the purport Srila Prabhupada explained. Because the Kshatriyas are meant to rule according to the guidance of the Brahmanas. The Kshatriyas should be subordinate to the Brahmanas. If the Kshatriyas are not subordinate to the Brahmanas, and if they subordinate to Brahmanas means what? Brahmanas are going to guide the Kshatriyas as per the religious principles given in the scriptures. So if they reject religious principles, then such a Kshatriya simply becomes a burden on the earth. Then the Brahmanas can even kill such Kshatriyas. So that's exactly what happened. So the Kshatriyas at the time were disobedient to the religious principles. So Lord Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas. One more point Srila Prabhupada said there was that although the offense was not too severe, but still Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas on the earth. Why? Because it was the Lord's desire to reduce the burden of the earth. So just some excuse was sufficient, right? So because of that, even though the offense may not have been very severe, but he just killed all the Kshatriyas. The offense by Kartavirya Arjun was severe. Kartavirya Arjun, so we didn't read that yet, right? Or did we read in the purport that Kartavirya Arjun took the cow away from, do you remember? Well, because I read the summary. Anyway, let's just continue and let's see. So text 14 said, learned scholars accept this Parashuram as a celebrated incarnation of Vasudeva who annihilated the dynasty of Kartavirya. Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas on earth 21 times. Then, yeah, we read this yesterday, right? Or, yes, we read this. So this is saying, when the royal dynasty being excessively proud because of the material modes of passion and ignorance, became irreligious and ceased to care for the laws enacted by the Brahmanas, Parashuram killed them. although their offense was not very severe, he killed them to lessen the burden of the world. That's the point. It was not too severe, but still he killed them. So, also, why? See, so what is the significance of the qualities? One who is ruling, so who should be the leader? Those who are in the mode of goodness, because mode of goodness is better than the modes of passion and ignorance. So someone who's in the mode of goodness should be the one guiding. Those who are in the mode of passion should follow those in the mode of goodness. Of course, the Brahmanas don't rule, because again, for ruling, you need the qualities of passion. You have to have the quality of passion to be a ruler. But nevertheless, to guide you properly, you need to be submissive to someone in the mode of goodness. So, like that. And then Srila Prabhupada compares with the present situation, modern day situation, where you don't even, we abolish the monarchy, saying that, oh, these kings are simply exploiting and they are, uh, you know, mm, they're just spending life lavishly and not really protecting for the people. So they just removed monarchy, abolished monarchy, thinking that now we will rule our own country. But who is the leader now? Shudras and Vaishyas are the leaders. So what type of government can you expect? They will simply be, we also read, in Kali Yuga, the plunderers will become, or the administrators will be just the plunderers. Dasyu Rajanya, right? The Rajas or the rulers will be, Dasyu means thieves and plunderers. Why? Because you are choosing them from Shudras and Vaishyas. Why Shudras and Vaishyas? Because everyone is born a Shudra and there is no training. There's no training. And then from amongst the Shudras, you select one ruler. So you will be cheated. So the system is, first of all, so then how we can rectify the situation? Okay, there should be proper training and everything. It's not there now. So what do we do? So educate the people, at least educate the people so that they will know who to choose, who to elect. We have to revive the consciousness of the people in general. If I'm not able to train the leader, let's just increase the consciousness of all the people. Then they will choose the right leader, someone who is in the mode of goodness rather than someone in the modes of passion and ignorance. Like that. So now let's continue reading. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, it is your turn today. So, yeah, Lord Parashuram killed. And why he killed? Because the kings were irreligious. And also, the Lord wanted to reduce the burden of the earth. That's why. Sri Rajo Vacha Kim Tad Amho Bhagavato Rajanyair Ajitatmabhihi Kritam Yena Kulam Nashtam Kshatriyanam Abhikshnashaha. Yes, Mataji.
King Parikshit inquired from Shukdev Goswami, what was the offense of the Kshatriyas who could not control their senses committed before Lord Parshuram, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for which the Lord annihilated the Kshatriya dynasty again and again?
Reasonable question, isn't it? What did they do? Of course, the Lord wanted to reduce the burden, but still there should be some excuse, some reason, right? What exactly did the Kshatriyas do? That Parshuramji killed all the Kshatriyas on the whole planet Earth, not once, 21 times. What exactly happened? Right? What did the Kshatriyas do? That was Parikshit Maharaj's question. So next, Achintya Dev Prabhu. श्रीबादरायणिरुवाच हैहयानाम् अधिपतिर् अर्जुनः क्षत्रियर्षभः दत्तं नारायणांशांशम् आराध्या परिकर्मभिः बाहून् दशशतं लेभे दुर्धर्षत्वम् अरातिषु अव्याहतेन्द्रियौजः श्री तेजो वीर्ययशो बलम् योगेश्वरत्वम् ऐश्वर्यं गुणा यत्राणि मादयः चचाराव्याहत गतिर्लोकेषु पवनो यथा.
Translation. Sukdev Goswami said, the best of the Kshatriyas, Kartavya Arjuna, the king
Kartavirya Arjuna.
Kartavirya Arjuna, the king of the Hayas, received 1,000 arms by worshipping Dattatreya, the planetary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan, he also became undefeatable by enemies and received unobstructed sensory power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and mystic power by which to achieve all the perfections of yoga, such as ahima, anima, and lagima. Thus, having become fully opulent, he roamed all over the universe without question, without opposition, just like the wind. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So, why Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas was the question. So Sukadeva Goswami is answering, the best of the Kshatriyas, right, at the time, the best of the Kshatriyas, Kartavirya Arjun, the king of the Hayhayas, received 1,000 arms by worshipping Dattatreya. So when we read about the incarnations in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, so there we read about Dattatreya, the son of Atri and Anasuya, Dattatreya. There we see that Lord Dattatreya instructed the Hayhayas and I think Asuri Brahmana, like that. So Hayhayas. So here we are reading about who are these Hayhayas. Kartavirya Arjun is the king of the Hayhayas. Hayhayas are like a clan. So Kartavirya Arjun is the king of the Hayhayas. And he was the best of the Kshatriyas. By worshipping Dattatreya, Kartavirya Arjun got 1,000 arms. Who is Dattatreya? Just like we were reading about the Soma dynasty earlier, the beginning of Soma dynasty. So there we read that Atri Muni and his wife Anasuya, they had the plenary expansion, the expansions of Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. So they had, as the expansion of Lord Brahma, they had Soma, as the expansion of Lord Shiva, Durvasa Muni, and as the expansion of Lord Vishnu himself, Dattatreya. So by worshipping this Dattatreya, who was a plenary expansion of Lord Vishnu, who appeared as the son of Atri Muni and Anasuya, by worshipping this Dattatreya, Kartavirya Arjun got 1,000 arms. He got 1,000 arms. Then he also became undefeatable by enemies and received unobstructed sensory power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and the mystic power by which to achieve all the perfections of yoga, such as anima and lagima. So, not only did he have 1,000 arms, he was also extremely powerful in battle. He could not be defeated in battle by his enemies. And he was very, very beautiful, very influential, very powerful. And his senses were also very strong. He was a strong person, very famous, And apart from all this, he had the siddhis of yoga. He had the mystic power by which to achieve all the perfections of yoga. So, when one achieves perfection in yoga, of course, ultimate perfection of yoga, the very word yoga means to connect with the Supreme. So, the perfection of yoga, if you're practicing Ashtanga yoga, then is to realize Paramatma and to go to Paramatma. That would be the perfection. But in the process, you also get many siddhis. So if somebody is deviated by those siddhis, then he'll just get those siddhis and he'll go to Siddha Loka within this material world. But anyway, siddhi, he had these all 8 siddhis, anima, laghima, prapti, like that. He had all 8 siddhis. He was very beautiful, very handsome, very strong, very powerful, famous, all 8 siddhis and 1000 arms. This was Kartavirya Arjun. Thus, having become fully opulent, he roamed all of the universe, all over the universe, without opposition, just like the wind. So, because nobody could defeat him in battle, he was traveling all over the universe with no opposition. Okay. Yeah. So next is Isha, right? Yes, Isha next. स्त्रीरत्नैरावृतः क्रीडन् रेवाम्भसि मदोत्कटः वैजयन्तीं स्रजं बिभ्रद् रुरोधा सरितम्बुजैः.
Once, while enjoying in the water of the river Narmada, the puffed-up Kartavirya Arjun, surrounded by beautiful women and garlanded with a garland of victory, stopped the flow of the water with his arms.
This is what happens generally. When you have a lot of power, then you become proud and you don't know uh, how to use that power properly in the service of the Lord. Of course, this is materialistic people. Those who are pure devotees, whatever power they have, they understand all this power belongs to the Supreme Lord and it should be used in the service of the Supreme Lord. Nothing big belongs to me. So it's not that we don't have devotees who are very powerful. We have great Vaishnavas who are extremely powerful, but because they are devotees, they are not uh, they are not affected by pride. We have like Hanuman, Bhimsen, very, very powerful, but at the same time, they're great Vaishnavas, like that. But generally, we see those who are not devotees, like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. Here we see Kartavirya Arjuna. Of course, he worshipped Lord Dattatreya, so you may think, how come he worshipped Lord Dattatreya then? So that is why you have different categories of devotees, right? Uh, you can even approach the Supreme Lord for a material result. And of course, if you approach the Supreme Lord, then that is good. Even for material result, it's better to approach the Supreme Lord than to approach someone else. But still, it's not pure devotional service. It's not pure devotional service. Saujanya Mataji, raising a hand.
Like Ambarish Maharaj, though he had a
Ah,
lot of power, he was a pure devotee.
yes, Mataji, Ambarish Maharaj. Yes. Yudhishthir Maharaj was also actually the emperor of the whole planet. But we read in Srimad Bhagavatam that he never considered that it was his. He thought he was simply a caretaker, like a keeper. So he never took, there was no pride because he didn't think it belonged to him. So that is the consciousness of a pure devotee. But otherwise, if you're not a devotee, then when you get wealth, when you have beauty, when you have, education, or you're from an aristocratic family, you become proud, right? And then other things start happening. We start uh, offending, committing sins, offenses generally. So, what did Kartavirya Arjun do? He got these 1,000 arms and he was so handsome, so beautiful. So, you can, all these women were with him. He was in the river Narmada having some water sports, and there were many ladies around him in the water. So, maybe he was trying to show off to them with his arms, simply with his 1,000 arms. He stopped the current of the river just by extending his arms, 1,000 arms. He stopped the current of the river. This is Kartavirya Arjun. Once, while enjoying in the water of the river Narmada, the puffed up, so he was proud, Kartavirya Arjun, surrounded by beautiful women and garlanded with a garland of victory, stopped the flow of water with his arms. Another example, as we were reading this, I remembered Nalakuvara and Manigriva. They were also with women, intoxicated, right? And then what happened? They offended Narad Muni, like that. So he stopped the current. Next, Krishnashish. Viplavitam swashibiram, Viplavitam swashibiram, Pratisrota sarijjalaihi, Namrishyat tasya tadviryam, Viramani dashananaha.
Because Kartavirya Arjuna made the water flow in the opposite direction, the camp of Ravana, which was set up on the bank of the Narmada near the city of Mahishmati, was inundated. This was unbearable to the 10-headed Ravana, who considered himself a great hero and could not tolerate Kartavirya Arjun's power.
Read the purport also, one line.
Ravana was out touring to gain victory over all other countries, Digvijay, and he had camped on the bank of the Narmada river near the city of Mahishmati.
Yes. Because Kartavirya Arjun made the water flow in the opposite direction. So he stopped the current and he made the water flow in the other direction, in the opposite direction. So, what was the consequence of this? The camp of Ravana, which was set up on the bank of the Narmada near the city of Mahishmati, was inundated. This is the result. Okay. So, Kartavirya Arjun was, yes, Mataji.
Mataji, sorry to interrupt. When you said Mahishmati in Bahubali movie, they talk about all near Mahishmati. I was like, these people picked all this from Bhagavatam because that's not a real story. They said it's just a fiction. It's not real.
Yes.
But at least my
They
daughters
used
were asking.
they used real names for a fiction. Yeah.
Because I remember my daughters asking, Mama, is this one of the real stories? I said, no way.
Yeah, not a real story, but the Mahishmati we also come across in Mahabharat when uh, when um, for the performance of Rajasuya Yagya they needed wealth. So Yudhishthir Maharaj sent the four brothers in four directions. So the person who goes south, I don't know, maybe it is Sahadev, I think, and they go to Mahishmati and fight there. So that comes in Mahabharata also. That's the first time when I saw, but also here in Srimad Bhagavatam we are seeing Mahishmati. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So on the banks of river Narmada is the city of Mahishmati. And at that time Ravana was camping in this city. And when Kartavirya Arjun stopped the current and made the water flow in the opposite direction, it flooded the city of Mahishmati, where Ravana was camping. You can imagine Ravana. Ravana himself, like he would conquer everyone. He would just travel because he didn't have, he even fought with Yamaraj, what to speak of anyone else. So when Ravana's camp was flooded, This was unbearable to the 10-headed Ravana, who considered himself a great hero and could not tolerate Kartavirya Arjun's power. This is again, right? When there is spiritual consciousness, if you see someone doing better than you, then you actually feel happy for that person. If you are actually in Krishna consciousness, if you see another person doing better, better means what? In bhakti, better means one who receives more mercy. Because really we don't have anything to be proud of. Everything that we have, it's not ours, it's borrowed property, right? Whatever we have, it's all borrowed. Nothing belongs to us, whether materially or spiritually, right? Nothing belongs to us. Materially, right? My intelligence, my memory, right? My abilities, ability to do something, ability to think, everything, whatever I'm thinking, that is coming from, it is Jnana Shakti. And whatever I'm doing is Kriya Shakti. So this Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Dravya Shakti, we see at the time of creation, this is all coming from where? It's coming from Prakriti. What is Prakriti? This is the Shakti of the Supreme Lord. So, even within this body, the Lord is there as Paramatma. Only when Paramatma releases, sanctions, do you get a particular level of intelligence, then a particular amount of power, strength, everything, whatever you have. And why? Then you can ask, if it is coming from the Lord, why He gives someone less and someone more? Based on your karma. Based on your karma. But nothing belongs to us. So there's nothing to be proud of. So those who are devotees, actually devotees, right? And okay, this is material. Then what about spiritual? Someone is very advanced in bhakti. Can you claim that it is? Devotees don't claim, because they have this knowledge already, right? So that's when they become advanced devotees. It is the neophytes, right, who are not yet, who become proud and all that. That is in a neophyte stage. But even the advanced stages of bhakti, it is whatever your experience and you're doing, it's because of bhakti. It's by the power of bhakti that you're able to do wonderful things. And whose bhakti that you're doing, or that you have, the wealth of bhakti, is it your property? Have you earned it? Have you created it? No, it is a gift. It is a gift. It is mercy coming from someone who has it. From by his or her compassion, they have given it to us, right? And even that person who has it, he got it from somewhere else. Ultimately, this bhakti is the Halladini Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of Krishna. The condensed form of the Halladini Shakti is bhakti. So this bhakti is not ours, it is his only. So what do we have to be proud about, right? Whether it is spiritual advancement or material abilities, nothing is ours. So a devotee who's advanced, he has this knowledge, so he won't become proud of anything. But generally, you will see those who are not devotees, they become very proud and arrogant, like we are seeing here in Ravana's case. And not only that, if someone else has more ability than me, then I cannot tolerate, I cannot bear it, right? When we read the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there we see about the demons, demoniac mentality. He is my enemy. I'm going to destroy. Why he became your enemy? Because he has more than you, right? Someone has more than me, then I cannot tolerate. This is material mentality. So when Ravana, who considered, again, thinking oneself to be great, this is also a material consciousness. And all conditioned souls suffer from this disease. isn't it? Thinking oneself to be important, thinking oneself to be great, special, this is a condition, and then extended, right? Because I am great, anything related to me is great, right? Whether it is my country or my community or my family or, anything related to me, it has to be great because I am great. I'm great means that's my idea, anything related to me. And then if someone else has something more than what I have, then it becomes intolerable. This is material nature, conditioning. So here Ravana, he was thinking, he always thought that he was a great hero. So when he saw the power of Kartavirya Arjun, simply with his bare hands, he was able to inundate, humiliate Ravana. Of course, Kartavirya Arjun didn't do it on purpose, but the result was Ravana's camp was inundated. This was unbearable for Ravana. He could not tolerate Kartavirya Arjun's power. Purport: Ravana was out touring to gain victory over all other countries' Digvijaya, and he camped on the bank of the Narmada's river near the city of Mahishmati. So you may get a question, what is Ravana doing in Mahishmati? He's supposed to be in Sri Lanka. Yes, because he was out on a Digvijaya tour. This is another material mentality, right? We see Digvijay Pandits, they go all over and they want to prove nobody can defeat me. I am the greatest, right? You feel the need to argue, debate, or fight with others and prove to them that you are wrong, you are below me, I am the greatest. And even get it signed on a letter, right? Go all over the world, and then that's your pride. I am the greatest. So Ravana was on this Digvijay tour, going all over to all the different countries. So he came to this Mahishmati and he was camped there. And at that time, this incident happened. So he couldn't bear it. Next, Madhava. गृहीतो लीलया स्त्रीणां समक्षं कृतकिल्बिषः माहिष्मत्यां सन्निरुद्धो मुक्तो येन कपिर्यथा. Yes.
When Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya Arjun in the presence of the woman and thus offended him, Kartavirya Arjun easily arrested Ravana and put him in custody in the city of Mahishmati. Just as one captured the monkey and released him in a blood.
When Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya Arjun, so now he wanted to take revenge. Kartavirya Arjun insulted or he became insulted or offended by Kartavirya Arjun's activity. So he wanted to take revenge. So he wanted to insult Kartavirya Arjun. Kartavirya Arjun was amongst women. He was probably trying to show off to them his own power. So he just stopped the current or made or reversed the current of the river Narmada. So right in the presence of those ladies, Ravana wanted to insult Kartavirya Arjun and take revenge. So when Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya Arjun in the presence of the women and thus offended him, Kartavirya Arjun easily arrested Ravana and put him in custody in the city of Mahishmati, just as one captures a monkey, and then released him neglectfully. Oh, so much insult, huh? Even more insulting. So he came back and he tried to insult Kartavirya Arjun. When he did that, Kartavirya Arjun simply captured him. Kartavirya Arjun had 1,000 arms. How many arms did Ravana have? 20. For each head, right? Two arms for each head. So for 10 heads, 20 arms. Kartavirya Arjun had 1,000 arms. So he was much more powerful. and he just captured Ravana like someone would capture a monkey. He arrested him, put him in prison in Mahishmati, and then just neglectfully released him. Go. How much more now Ravana will feel insulted. And also you get an idea of Kartavirya Arjun's power. Sa ekada, okay, Rasapriya. Sa ekada tu mrigayam vicharan vijane vane yadrichayashrama padam jamadagne rupavishat. So this incident about Kartavirya Arjun's capturing Ravana and reversing the current of Narmada gives you an idea of how powerful Kartavirya Arjun was. We know Ravana is very powerful, but even Ravana was nothing compared to Kartavirya Arjun. So he was a very powerful person. And what to speak of his influence and his handsomeness and beauty. So, once upon a time, what happened? We're going to read that. Yes, Rasapriya. Rasapriya, your turn.
Once, while Kartavirya Arjun was wandering unengaged in a solitary forest and hunting, he approached the residence of Jamadagni.
Read the purport.
Kartavirya Arjun had no business going to the residence of Jamadagni, but because he was puffed up by his extraordinary power, he went there and offended Parasuram. This was the prelude to his being killed by Parasuram for his offensive act.
Once, while Kartavirya Arjun was wandering unengaged in a solitary forest and hunting, he approached the residence of Jamadagni. So he happened to come there, Kartavirya Arjun, while hunting in the forest, happened to come to Jamadagni's ashram. He had no business going to Jamadagni's residence, but because he was puffed up by his extraordinary power, he went there and offended Parashuram. This was the prelude to his being killed by Parashuram for his offensive act. Okay. So it was not by accident that he happened to come there, nor was it out of some need, right? Sometimes you're traveling and then you're hungry, or maybe you need to go to use the restroom or something, so you just go to someone's home. Not like that. He had no purpose in going to Jamadagni's ashram, but he went there because he was puffed up by his power, and he wanted to show off to Parashuram. Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Parashuram is the son of Jamadagni, the youngest son. So Kartavirya Arjun, he went there and offended Parashuram. Because he was puffed up by his extraordinary power, he went there and offended Parashuram. So he had no business going there, but just out of his pride, he went there and offended Parashuram. So the question by Parikshit Maharaj was, why did Parashuram kill all the Kshatriyas? So this is the background. Next, Sonia Mataji. Tasmai sanara devaya munir arhanam aharat sasainyamaatya vahaya havishmatya tapodhanaha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
The sage Jamadagni, who was engaged in great austerities in the forest, received the king very well, along with the king's soldiers, ministers, and carriers. He supplied all the necessities to worship this guest, for he possessed a Kamdhenu cow that was able to supply everything.
So, when Kartavirya Arjun came, now Kartavirya Arjun is a king, so he came with his king. A king doesn't go alone, right? He has his entourage wherever he goes. He has his ministers, his horses, and his soldiers, like that. So when he came to the ashram of Jamadagni, like we were reading this, or for you to yesterday night, the recent last Chaitanya Charitamrita class. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Advaitacharya's home, how Advaitacharya served Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His wife Sita Thakurani cooked so many varieties of prasadam, and Advaitacharya offered that. First of all, offered to the deity. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada was explaining a grihasta's how, if the center of a grihasta's home is service to Krishna, and if there is always, this is the Vedic injunction that there should always be a guest in the grihasta's home, then so that is actually an ideal situation. That's a good situation for a grihastha, because he gets an opportunity to do his dharma, right? What is the first responsibility of a grihastha? Srila Prabhupada says, serving guests, hospitality, right? Giving charity and hospitality. And then Prabhupada gives example of how his own father would always have, every single day would have at least 4 guests to come and take prasadam every day. So Srila Prabhupada elaborates on this. So naturally Jamadagni was a grihastha, Brahmana, and here was a king with all his entourage, and not an ordinary king. He had 1,000 arms. With all his entourage, he has come to Jamadagni's home, ashram. He was able to arrange for everyone nice feast and nice arrangements. How was he able to do that? He had this Kamadhenu cow. Kamadhenu means a wish, like a Surabhi cow, wish fulfilling, like you have desire trees, like that, a wish fulfilling cow. It can give, that cow can give not only unlimited quantities of milk, but also anything else that you want. Whatever you want can just come directly from the cow. So Jamadagni had a Kamadhenu cow, and with the help of that cow, he was able to serve Kartavirya Arjun and all his associates. The sage Jamadagni, who was engaged in great austerities in the forest, received the king very well, along with the king's soldiers, ministers, and carriers. He supplied all the necessities to worship these guests, for he possessed a Kamadhenu cow that was able to supply everything, not only milk, everything, rice, dal, sabji, samosas, sweets, rasgullas, everything, and even nice bedding and everything, whatever whatever you need can come. Purport. So next is it Priyanka Haripriya Mataji? I think so. Yes, Mataji. Or you're able to read, or Saujanya Mataji can read?
I can read, Mataji.
You can read. Okay.
Purport?
Yes.
Okay. The Brahma Samhita informs us that the spiritual world, and especially the planet Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna lives, is full of Surbi cows. Surbi Avipalayantam. The Surbi cow is also called Kamdhenu. Although Jamadagni possessed only one Kamdhenu, he was able to get from it everything desirable. Thus, he was able to receive the king, along with king's great number of followers, ministers, soldiers, animals, and palanquin carriers. When we speak of a king, we understand that he is accompanied by many followers. Jamadagni was able to receive all the king followers properly and feed them sumptuously with food prepared in ghee. The king was astonished at how opulent Jamadagni was because of possessing only one cow, and therefore he became envious of the great sage. This was the beginning of his offense. Parshuram, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Kartavirya Arjuna because Kartavirya Arjuna was too proud. One may possess unusual opulence in this material world, but if one becomes puffed up and acts whimsically, he will be punished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a lesson to learn from this history, in which Parshuram became angry at Kartavirya Arjuna and killed him and rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times.
Yes. Hare Krishna. So, why did Parashuram kill Kshatriyas was the question. This is the reason. Kartavirya Arjun, he was after being served so nicely by Jamadagni, taking all the hospitality, he became envious, right? Again, materialistic mentality cannot tolerate another person having better than what I have. This is envy. And envy is there in the material, like conditioned soul, there is envy. So he became envious. He's here in the forest, what facilities can one, and he's giving such opulent, feast for so many people and everything that they need. How? And he understood it's from Kamadhenu cow. Now he wanted that. Just one cow is able to provide everyone. So then, actually, he takes it by force. I don't know if we are going to read that here or not, but he takes the cow by force. And Parashuram was not there at the time. So this is the beginning of the offense. Maybe it will come. I won't break the suspense. But yeah, he became envious. He became envious of Jamadagni's opulence because of having this Kamadhenu cow. It's very, very similar, almost exactly the same between Vishwamitra Muni and Vashishta Muni. Vashishta Muni also had a Kamadhenu cow, and Vishwamitra Muni, who was at the time a king, before he was, actually it's the same, we are reading about King Gadi's descendants, right? So King Gadi's grandson is this Vishwamitra Muni. Before he became Vishwamitra Muni, he was a king, and he visited Vashishta Muni's ashram, and he also saw this Kamadhenu cow, and he wanted that. And Vashishta Muni had another incident with the Vasus, right? The eldest Dyav. He went there and he also wanted the Kamadhenu. And Kamadhenu didn't want to go, and Vashishta Muni refused, and yeah, that whole thing. So then how he was cursed. So, yes, Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, did we also read how did Jamadagni get the the cow, the Kamadhenu? No, right,
No, we
Mataji?
didn't read that. No, we didn't read that. Yeah. So let's continue. So next is, yeah. So also Srila Prabhupada brings the point of, here one cow, one Surabhi cow is doing such wonders. In Krishna's planet Golok Vrindavan, we read Chintamani Prakarasadma Sukalpa Vriksha Lakshávriteshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam. Right? Surabhir Abhipalayantam. All the cows there are Surabhi cows, and Krishna is tending to those cows in Golok Vrindavan. So we cannot even imagine what it would be like in Golok Vrindavan. Okay. next. So this will be Saujanya Mataji's turn, and you'll be the last person to read today, Mataji. And we'll end here. Savairatnam tu tadrishtva आत्मैश्वर्यातिशायनं तन्नाद्रियताग्निहोत्र्यां साभिलाषः सहैहयः. Yes, Mataji.
Kartavirya thought that Jamadagni was more powerful and wealthy than himself because of possessing a jewel in the form of the Kamadhenu. Therefore, he and his own men, the
Hayhayas.
Haihayas, were not very much appreciative of Jamadagni's reception. On the contrary, they wanted to possess the Kamadhenu, which was useful for the execution of the Agnihotra sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just one point here is what was Jamadagni's attachment to Kamadhenu? Kamadhenu was helping him in performing his Agnihotra yagyas. He is a Brahmana and a sage. He's performing yagyas. And this Kamadhenu was really helping him in performing his Agnihotra sacrifice. Right? He would get ghee and whatever else he needs for his sacrifice. But anyway, Kartavirya Arjun and his men, they were not appreciative of Jamadagni's reception because they were, especially Kartavirya Arjun was envious, burning with envy. We just saw how many qualities he had, right? Very handsome. He had so many hands, arms, and everything. Nobody could defeat him in battle. In spite of having all these qualities, another person has some little bit which you don't have, then you forget about all the things that you have and you cannot sleep at night because that person has that. Isn't it? This is material mentality. So Kartavirya Arjun was very envious. Oh, this Jamadagni has this Kamadhenu. I don't have. So he was envious. He wanted that Kamadhenu. But that Kamadhenu was required for Jamadagni's performance of Yagya. Okay, so purport is Pragnya available today, Mataji?
No, Mataji, she's still recovering.
Oh, okay. So then we can stop here and continue tomorrow then, because it's already 6 o'clock. So again, today Saujanya Mataji was the last person to read. So the next person will read in the next class. And I won't read today also Bhagavad Gita and Lilamrita because I don't want to, lose my voice altogether. So let's see. Tomorrow we will continue. Thank you very much. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.